We're at the Oregon Gambler 500. Welcome, guys. Today we're going to show you some cool cars of the Gambler. Let's start off quick with this thing.
Yeah.
What'd you say it was on? A Toyota frame?
1980 Toyota frame, yeah. I was just talking to the owner. Hey, it's a Ford freaking Ranger.
Ford freaking Ranger. Hey, you want to get that sweet bumper?
That is a don't tailgate me bumper right there.
Looks like it got caught on something.
Yeah.
It's a little bent.
Woo! Yeah!
So this is the B is for Build Huracan Lamborghini. Let's go check it out.
If you guys are looking for a driver, you know,
You ran it yet?
No. We drove it around a parking lot once.
I bet you it was last minute, huh?
Yeah. We were cramming. We did a lot of 14-hour days and just barely got here. This is training wheels right now. We're just trying to shake it down and have the least amount of stuff on there so we can start to learn the car, learn what changes we need to make. We definitely need stiffer springs. That's the first, I got those ordered right now. They just didn't come in time. Yeah, body panels, a lot of different stuff to help the cooling system, and yeah, it'll look really cool. It'll look more like a Lamborghini by the time we're done.
Really?
Yeah, we're aiming for the Holly booth this year at SEMA, so hopefully.
You got the whole shell, right? I mean, yeah, that's what I thought.
So what made you want to get into that?
We found the chassis, the bare chassis at a junkyard, and I thought, like, what do you do with this? Because if you buy all the Lamborghini parts for a bare chassis, you're gonna be the cost of two Lamborghinis. Yeah, wouldn't be right. So the only way to do it then was if you built your own control arms and stuff like that. And I was like, well, there's no reason to build your own control arms to like rebuild a street car. You're not gonna engineer better than Lamborghini did. So you got to do something very different. And then that's where we came up with the long travel stuff. Wow. So we got the chassis, and then we sent that off to get 3D scanned. We had a 3D scan, and then we had an engineer that develops King of the Hammers rides. He engineered all the control arms, the suspension, how it's supposed to actuate and steer and stuff like that. And then we took it from there. We did all the welding and all the building, and then made sure we powered it and engine
kind of motors it got in there?
It's got an LS1 in there, just stock Corvette LS1 right now. Our race engine is being built by Mullins out in Illinois, and it'll be a 9,000 RPM, 700 horsepower, naturally aspirated ripper.
What are you going to do with it once you get it finished?
It's being built to race in the Mint 400. So in December, the Mint 400, yeah, we're gonna go race.
Does the door work?
Yeah.
Can you show us?
Sure, yeah. It's modified, so we did Lambo doors on our Lambo. So unlike a normal Huracan, the doors open like
regular
traditionally, but yeah. This thing keeps hanging up on me, but
that's cool.
I would say it's the basics limitations of engineering. Those axles only have a certain amount of travel to stay within the frame rails, so we just had to make sure that we built in such a way that we could maximize all of that travel, but we did it. So
sweet.
Yeah, that was I would say that was the largest challenge, and now everything's just fine-tuning. We've been messing with our shocks and our springs, and we'll continue to mess with them until we get it right. Way too low right now. We should be up another 4 inches, 5 inches.
Oh really?
You want to be definitely for the Mint.
Yeah.
I've got CAD in my shop. Cardboard aided design.
Cardboard aided design. We do a lot of that. So I built that fancy dash panel. The most high-tech we've ever taken an approach at building a car, and I really enjoy it because you're getting all the guesswork out on the computer and do it. So we've been doing a lot of 3D printing on this one and a lot of CAD work.
Well, cool. Thank you. Nice
Thanks for coming by. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, he hated the car when I got it.
It's got an extra squirter just to add.
I did
to the radiator.
Put a bigger radiator in it, cool
The squirts
radiator.
on the radiator.
Huh? Why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah,
squirt gun.
You basically gutted a Grand Cherokee and then ran it on propane, right? Is that kind of?
I love Grand Cherokees, but they're subframes, they bend, so I got some with a frame.
Yeah, 5.9. 5.9.
So
you got the 360.
Yeah.
Those are good. Fun to ride.
Yeah, it's just a wrecking yard vehicle,
Yeah.
Really affordable, and the propane never misses a beat. Actually, if you drive it for gas mileage, it gets good gas mileage, but it's hard to do. If you drive it like this, it sucks it down. So it's whatever you're looking for.
So we saw this thing yesterday.
And we're like, we got to check this thing out. So when we walked up, we saw a motor, but he has two motors. and the front and the rear control each end. It has a separate steering wheel, a separate gas pedal, so he has a left and right gas pedal in here.
There's 2 gas pedals. You have to do both at the same time to move the front and the rear wheels together. He said that's the only way you can do it. You can't just put one in neutral.
Yeah.
So here's the rear. It's hard to see how he did this, but he took the front of another car and just shoved it in here and welded it all back together. So here's the steering wheel of the rear car, and the tach and speedometer and all that stuff. Computer over there, and then he's got a place to put a mini bike up there as well.
And then grafted the back of the car back in here.
Check this out. This is the coolest part. This is why I wanted to show you guys this. It's got a Cherokee grill on the back.
This car is very popular amongst the OG gamblers. I guess this guy won this thing or somehow acquired it very cheap and then has went full send with it ever since, and it doesn't die.
And apparently he goes to all the gamblers, including the one in Tennessee, so we might have to catch up with them there too.
Is this yours?
It's my brother.
What is it?
Will you tell us about it?
It's on a GMC Sonoma frame that's shortened 30 inches.
So it's got a 4.3 in it then, a V6?
Yeah. You want me to open it? You want to see it?
Sure, yeah. So it's like a late 90s, huh?
Yeah.
Or early 2000s maybe?
I think it's like a 98.
Okay.
But we just finished it. So this is the first OG it's been on the frame. We took it to 2019, but it just couldn't handle it. It wasn't automatic, but the S10 was manual, so now it's manual.
Heck yeah.
It's 4-wheel drive. Everything works but the gas gauge. We have a fuel cell on the back.
This is cool. That's a big bumper back there.
Can I give you one of these? These are pretty rad hood pens. I've never seen hood pens like that. Yeah. But one thing I have seen is there's a lot of Crown Vic gamblers, for sure. There's one here, one there, even just standing right here. There's a handful of them. That may be the go-to car if you want to do all the fun all-around stuff. So, Tate calls Jeeps, he loves Jeeps. He grew up four-wheeling in Jeeps, but he calls them Jupes. And if you know if you pay attention to like a CJ body and for a Wrangler body, and you take the E's out, the stickers, it says Jupe. It's J-O-O-P. So he calls them Jupes. So that's where you see, if you're going to be out here, you see a lot of people saying Jupe instead of Jeep. This is Geo squared. That's all I know about it. Somebody sent me a picture and said we have Geo squared. Obviously squared. Two fronts. I'm assuming you can probably drive both ways because they're a front wheel drive car. 3-cylinder. This is pretty awesome. Ingenuity at its finest. This is a true gambler rig. I guess he got it dirt cheap or for free. I think maybe somebody gave it to him. Got it running, added an extra fuel tank, and he can go 2,200 miles on one tank of gas, which is insane.
Check this thing out. It looks like the zombie Jeep. Zombie implements on the front. A grate across the windshield. Look at that.
Saw blades, spikes.
Oh man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Totally legal. Totally legit.
Makes it rad.
That's cool.
Oh, you got a straight up setup.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Pay attention to me for just a second.
Love it.
I got top lights under the supercharger.
Make some noise. Wave your arms. We need to get EMS.
Shit from the road where gosh, because those. What's that? The guy who was sitting right here who was dehydrated. You know where
We are at the Gambler event, the Gambler 500 in Oregon, but they're also doing the Hooptie X challenge at the same time. Oh, this guy's taking off right here. And they're doing it like
everything that old Mercedes had.
It's probably a mile or so. It just kind of weaves all through the woods over there.
Yes.
Get it! Woo! Woo! Get it!
Well, we got this bus delivered to us from Greg Godfrey, Chandler Godfrey, here about 2 weeks ago at Oswego, Oregon, Icebox Performance Radiator Supply House. And we thought it just needed a little transmission work, but this last Monday night we found out it needed a new LS, needed a new radiator, transmission cooler, transmission. If you go in there and look at the brake system, let's go look at that. So this is brakes right here. This little canister is what we use for brakes. What has been done. Air down to the air brakes. So if this bus is the bus that was jumped 160 feet, it's a world bus jump. It's also laid on the side by Travis Pastrana, Nitro Circus. Took a picture. Now finish the Hooptie X. So we're gonna go load it on the trailer. We're gonna get this thing home safe. We're gonna do a few more events with it. Ship it back to Salt Lake City. So we did this total swap. So we dropped an ice box in it, transmission cooler, radiator, LS, tuned this thing. I think we actually got it running late yesterday morning. And,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
she's a runner. She's a runner.
Yeah, let's go. Coming again. Awesome!
Alright, that's the vehicles of the Gambler. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to follow us on all the social medias and check out these videos right over here.
Boom.